Okay, today we're hopefully quickly talking about Leanna's two main theories of politics. And these are my own theories, so why do I have a Mother Jones article up? Well, this is the big question right now, at least while I'm recording this. And it's so strange that the main question focuses on Donald Trump during the Democratic National Convention. Well, that's relevant to my two main theories of politics. And this has been pretty consistent in picking a winner in recent years in terms of political stuff, which is why I'm letting you guys in on this, because they're fairly easy barometers to measure, and it'll be interesting to test because the two factors are in conflict this election. Because my first theory of politics is the politician who has the simplest message will win. Now, obviously, the high watermark for this was Barack Obama, President Barack Obama. He campaigned on one word: hope. Other successful politicians like Rob Ford, the late mayor of Toronto, rest in peace, campaigned on stop the gravy train. That was his message. It was simple. I was hoping Herman Cain would have a more legitimate shot because I wanted to see him test his, approach to politics, because he wasn't four letters like a Barack Obama. No, he would have outdone Barack Obama because his platform was three letters, 999. I would have loved to see that tested in a general election. I should say that these are general election theories, not primary theories. Primaries are very different beasts because that's internal party politics, not the greater electorate. So we have a situation where Donald Trump is certainly winning the keep your message simple race. Make America great again. I must keep America great. That's Hillary Clinton's message, but she's not saying it so succinctly. Donald Trump is winning on this metric because Clinton is too smart for her own good on this. She likes to talk policy. She likes to get nuanced and detailed and talk numbers and things like that. And that was very much like Rob Ford's opponent when he ran for mayor, George Smitherman, and Ford just decimated him. They kept saying Smitherman ran a bad campaign, but the problem was that Smitherman actually answered the questions he was asked. There was some homophobia in the campaign as well. For people who don't know, George Smitherman is gay. He's been a real example in Ontario politics in that way. He was married to a man who died very tragically, and it all played out quite publicly. It was very sad, but it really showed people that families are the same no matter how they're made up. But his message was too nuanced. It was too complicated. People wanted subways, 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 and stop the gravy train. That's what they wanted to vote for. It was easy to understand. But on the other metric, Trump is losing, and that metric is to make the election the arbitration of your opponent. And Barack Obama was excellent at this, and he will continue to be excellent at this. We'll see how his speech is tonight. I'm recording this before his speech. But during his own campaigns, Barack Obama was absolutely excellent at arbitrating his opponents. Not prosecuting, but arbitrating, letting the public do it for him. Against Hillary Clinton, he had a very tiny record. He had almost no record in public service, so the entire primary was an arbitration on her vote for the Iraq War. He did the same thing about John McCain. He did the same thing with Mitt Romney. It was all what McCain had done, what Romney had done. Very little attention was paid to the things Obama had done. McCain and Romney just loomed so large in the press at that point. Now, this should sound like a disadvantage for Hillary Clinton because the Republicans have been very, very good at making the public and the mainstream media arbitrate Hillary Clinton. However, Trump is such a narcissist that he keeps pulling things back to himself. And this is why I have this headline up. This is a headline on Mother Jones during the Democratic National Convention, when all eyes should be on the Democrats People are talking about Trump's ties to Russia. This is not good for Donald Trump because up until now, the mainstream media has not really treated him like a serious presidential candidate. They've treated him as a sideshow, a cartoon, and an amusement, which means he's gotten an easier ride. Now that we're into the general election, Trump is gonna get much more scrutiny. And if he keeps pulling attention to himself, he will lose. And this is going to be a big Achilles heel for this campaign because the Republicans are very good at setting a message against Hillary Clinton. I mean, at their convention, they were chanting, lock her up, terrifying anybody who believes in due process. But Trump's desire for attention overrode that with his outlandish, over-the-top openings and his insistence in appearing at a convention where historically you build up to the arrival of the nominee. The last night is the nominees. Before that is pregame show. He derailed that. He gave the media so much to chew on, so much tape to re-roll, so much to arbitrate regarding him. Yes, he got a 6-point bounce, but you always get a bounce coming out of your convention. And we'll see. I mean, going back, talking about bounces from conventions, George W. Bush was also very good at making elections arbitrations of his opponent. Instead of the electorate talking about how he executed more people as governor of Texas than almost anybody, it was all about whether Al Gore invented the internet, which is a stupid thing to argue, but it became this national obsession. All the things that Al Gore claimed he did, which it was iffy, but it was effective politics. You know, so if you look at these two factors, and I'm going to be very interested to see how this election plays out because it's going to test which of my theories is more powerful. Because obviously Donald Trump has a lock on one and not the other. So I wanted to declare this now so you guys can measure it going forward. Come November, we will test how these theories did. Now, granted, we're still trying to see who is going to win the battle of making the election an arbiter of their opponent. But right now it's interesting because I should say Donald Trump's winning because it's all crooked Hillary. But he's calling so much attention to himself that right now it's a wash. And I think that's why the two candidates are neck and neck right now.